Hello everyone, my name is Sam. In this tutorial, I'm gonna be showing you how to make a neon text effect animation like this using Adobe Photoshop. Without further ado, let's begin. First, create a new document, go to File, New, then give a name for the document. Here I give it 1920 by 1080 pixels for the size, with 72 pixels per inch resolution, and RGB for the color mode. You might also adjust the settings accordingly to your need. Then click Create. Alright, now drag the background image from the folder directly into the canvas. It could be any image you want, but you better pick a dark background for your project so that the neon effect will look more shining. After dragging your image into the canvas, you can resize it right away by holding Alt and Shift keys on your keyboard while dragging the image size controller. If you already got the image scale you want, click the check mark. Now you can delete the color background layer, click on it and press delete on your keyboard. Add a brightness contrast adjustment layer. Reduce the brightness amount accordingly depends on your image brightness level, and increase the contrast amount to around 25. If you finish, close the properties box. Then hold the Ctrl key on your keyboard and select both image and the adjustment layers, then click this folder icon to group them. Here I change the group name to both wall. Next, add a new layer by clicking this icon, activate the Find Bucket tool, turn the background color to black, and click the canvas to fill the blank layer with black. Then activate the Brush tool, select the soft round brush preset, set the brush size to around 1500 pixels with 100% opacity and 100% flow, and click exactly to the center of the canvas so it would look like a lightning effect. Then change the blending mode to overlay and change the layer name to light and turn the opacity to around 65%. Alright, next we are going to add text to the canvas, so activate the text tool, choose the font type. You can choose any font you want. In this demonstration, I use the Clip regular font with 350 pixels of size. Then click on the canvas and type the first letter of the text, like that. If you want more controls for the text adjustments, double click the T icon of the text layer. Do some adjustments, for example increasing the text size, and so on. If you finish, click this check mark. Then activate the Move tool. Move the letter exactly to the center of the canvas. The like layer as well. Select the like layer and move it exactly to the center of the canvas. Then right-click the text layer and select Convert to Smart Object. Let's duplicate the text layer by pressing Ctrl J on your keyboard and change the name to Glow N. Then open the blending options dialog box by clicking the FX icon and select blending options. At the dialog box, activate the outer glow, leave the blend mode to normal, change the opacity amount to around 75%, and give any color you want for the text. Click OK. Change the size amount to around 90 and click OK. Next, duplicate the Glow N layer by pressing Ctrl J on your keyboard and change its name to Glow N2. Then double click on its outer glow, increase the opacity to 100% and give it a lighter version of the color and click OK. Reduce the size amount to around 27 pixels and click OK. Then duplicate the Glow N2 layer by pressing Ctrl J and change the name to Blur N. Delete its layer style by dragging them to the trash bin icon. Then go to Filter, Blur, and select Gaussian Blur. Change the radius amount to around 140 pixels and click OK. Then place it under the first glow layer. Right click on it and select blending options. Give it a color overlay. Give it a darker version of the text color and click OK. By the way, here I want to change the like layer name to like N. Alright, now we are going to group these N elements. So select the first layer, press the Shift key on your keyboard and select up to the like N layer. Release the Shift key and drag them into the bin icon to group them all. Then here I change the group name to N, or you may want to rename it as the first letter of your text. Next, we are going to work on the second letter. Let's hide the first letter by pressing the eye icon next to its group. Then activate the text tool and type the second letter to the canvas and click the check mark icon. Activate the Move tool and move the letter right to the center of the canvas. Now we are going to add the elements for the second layer by simply duplicating them from the N group. So open the N group. Let's start by duplicating the like layer. Select the like N and press Ctrl J. Here I rename the duplicate as like E. Then place it out of the group N, precisely under the original second letter layer. Then select the text layer, right-click the text layer, and select Convert to Smart Object. Press Ctrl J to duplicate, and change the duplicate name to Glow E. Then select the Glow N, right-click on it, and select Copy Layer Style. Then go back to the Glow E, right-click on it, and select Paste Layer Style. Then press Ctrl J to duplicate the Glow E, and change the duplicate name to Glow E2. Then delete each layer style by dragging them to the trash bin icon. And now right-click on it and select Paste Layer Style. Then duplicate to Glow E2 by pressing Ctrl J and change the duplicate name to Blur E. Remove the layer style by dragging them to the trash bin icon. Then go to Filter, Blur, and select Gaussian Blur. At the dialog box that opens, give it 140 pixels for the radius amount and click OK. Then go to the blur end, right-click on it, and select Copy Layer Style. Go back to the Blur E, right-click and select Paste Layer Style. Again, like what we did for the end elements, place the Blur E underneath the Glow E. Then we are going to group the E elements. So, select its uppermost layer, press and hold the Shift key, select its bottommost layer, release the Shift key, and click the folder icon to group them all, and change the group name to E. Alright, now we are going to work on the third letter. By the way, this task is kind of repetitive, still the same steps to do until the last letter. So click the eye icon next to E group, activate the text tool, and type the third letter on the canvas. Move it right to the center, then duplicate the like N. Here I change its name to like O and press enter. Place the like O under the O text layer. Then convert the O layer as a smart object by right-clicking on it and select Convert to Smart Object. Then duplicate and change its name to Glow A. Then go to Glow N, right-click and select Copy Layer Style. Go back to the Glow O, right-click on it and paste Layer Style. Then press Ctrl J to duplicate it and change the duplicate name to Glow O2. Remove the layer style. Then go to Glow N2. Right-click on it and select Copy Layer Style. Then go back to the Glow O2, right-click on it and select Paste Layer Style. Press Ctrl J to duplicate it and change its name to Blur O. Remove the layer style and go to Filter, Blur, select Gaussian Blur and leave the radius amount to 140 pixels and click OK. Then go to the Blur end, right-click on it and select Copy Layer Style. Go back to the Blur O, right-click and select Paste Layer Style. Then select the Blur O, press and hold the Shift key while selecting the like O. Release the Shift button and click the folder icon to group them all. Change the group name to O. Alright, hide this group and let's work on the last letter. Activate the text tool, type the last letter onto the canvas and click this check mark. Activate the move tool and make sure you drag the letter exactly onto the center of the canvas, then give this end a like effect. So go to the like end layer, press Ctrl J to duplicate and change the duplicate name to like N2. Then place the like N2 under the second end letter. By the way, change the second end letter layer to N2. Right click on it and select Convert to Smart Object. Then duplicate it by pressing Ctrl J and change the duplicate name to Glow N2. Then go to the Glow N, right click on it and select Copy Layer Style. Go back to Glow N2, right click on it and select Paste Layer Style. Then press Ctrl J right away to duplicate it, remove the layer style and change its name to Glow N2 2. Then go to the Glow N2, right click on it and select Copy Layer Style. Go back to Glow N2 2, right click on it and select Paste Layer Style. Then press Ctrl J to duplicate and change the duplicate name to Blur N2. Delete the layer style and go to Filter, Blur, select Gaussian Blur and leave the radius amount to 140 pixels and click OK. Then go to the Blur end, right click and select Copy Layer Style. Go back to the Blur N2, right click on it, and select Paste Layer Style. Now select the topmost layer, press and hold the Shift key, select until the like N2, release the Shift button, click the folder icon to group them all, and rename the group as N2. The next step is to adjust the position of each letter, so activate all groups. You can now close the N group. First, adjust the position of the first letter, which is N. So make sure the N group is selected, activate the Move tool, and move it to the left by pressing the left arrow key on your keyboard until somewhere the first letter should be. Then select the second letter and move it accordingly. And so do with the third and the last letters. Alright, now as you can see, although I moved the position of every group, its like effect seems doesn't follow the position of its respective group, because their like layers were set to overlay mode. So we need to make a new like layer exclusively for the frame of the animation when all neon effects are required to be activated instead of activating the like layers of the groups. So let's first turn off every like layer. Then we are going to make a new like layer by duplicating a like layer from any group. Open the N2 group, select the like N2 and press Ctrl J to duplicate it. Change the duplicate name, here I name it as like text combine. Take the duplicate out of the group and place it onto the top of the background group. Then activate the brush tool. Set the brush size to 1500 pixels with 100 opacity and 100 flow, and brush around the left and right area slightly to the center. The next step is to animate the text. Go to Window, select Timeline, then at the Timeline panel that opens, open this drop down and select Create Frame Animation and click on it. Now the first frame reflects all active layers. Then let's make the second frame by clicking this icon. We will change the view for this second frame. I want the second frame to show only the N letter to glow. So I would like to turn off all text layers, except the original text layers. And leave all layers under the N group turned on. Like so. Let's play the animation to see what we get. It looks like the flickering is too fast, so to make it slower, select the second frame, click this twins animation frames button, add 3 frames for the twin, select the previous frame, and leave the default settings for all of these checkboxes and click OK. It looks better now. Let's continue adding more animation frames, so select the last frame, click this icon to add a new frame, and now turn off all text layers except the original text layers and all layers under the second group. Click this icon and add 5 more frames for the twin. Add the twin with the drop down, select the previous frame and click OK. Let's play the animation to look at what we get. That's it. Then again, we are going to animate the third letter. Click this icon, turn off all text layers except the original text layers and all layers under the third group. Click this icon and add 5 frames for the twin with the previous frame and click OK. This is what we get. Then add a new frame, turn off all text layers except the original text layers and all layers under the fourth group. Click this icon and add 5 frames for the twin with the previous frame and click OK. Then add a new frame again, but this time we are going to turn off all text layers except all original text layers. Click this icon and add 5 frames for the twin with the previous frame and click OK. That's it. Let's play the preview to look at what we get. Then add a new frame again and turn on all layers except the like layer of every group. Click this icon, add 5 frames for the twin with the previous frame and click OK. Then click this button to change how many times the animation to play. Here I choose forever. And this is the final result, a neon text effect animation. To save the animation as an MP4 video file, click this icon, go to File, Export, select render video, give it any name you want, click select folder to decide the location on your computer, click select folder, and click render. Let's run the file to play the animation. That's it. That's all for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you think this tutorial is very helpful, please like and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe for more future uploads. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching this video and see you.